Welcome to the TheLanCave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen. Yeah, it's here. Next gen is here, baby. We've been so excited about this. We've been on a countdown for ever. It seems like, I think, like 3.5, 5 years. What has it been? Something like that. Since we heard the words Lockhart, or, sorry, was it Lockhart? No.
Lockhart was one of the first ones we heard.
Lockhart was one of the first as well. Was it Lockhart? Which was Lockhart the S, and then X wasn't Lockhart. See, now I'm slipping. I got completely thrown off right before we started airing. I dropped my my water bottle and spilled everything because I'm clumsy. But yeah.
Series X, known as Project Scarlet. Then there was at some point there was an Anaconda out there, and then
God, they really should bring out the Anaconda though.
But we don't want none, son.
Well, but you could get Sir Mix-a-Lot to like come in, and it'd be perfect because everyone would love it, and you got the nostalgia right there. It'd be great. But they're here. Owen was. We were both lucky enough to pre-order them. However, Owen is the only one of us who received both of his on the days that were expected.
It blends in,
right?
This is the Xbox controller for those who are watching, by the way.
Let me click over there.
Like it blends.
You need a little bit more light on you, I think.
There's definitely some grippy stuff going on here.
I was going to ask, yeah. How's the grip compared to the DualSense?
I mean, we could talk about the Dual. Dude, this is the sickest controller.
That's what I keep hearing.
This controller is so sick. But in terms of like what they did with the Xbox, I've been playing Gears, and they also put little grippies on the trigger buttons, which that's a nice touch. So there's slide resistant stuff for the triggers, and so it's good. I'm happy with it. I played with it most of the day today until my PS5 got in, and then I promptly turned it off. And
and now you've been playing the new hotness.
The 2 days old new
two days old.
No,
okay, so,
honestly, no. The Xbox is great, by the way. There is one issue that I have so far is that the quick resume has not worked.
Really? That's in the Xbox?
Yeah, so it's supposed to work, but so Gears 5 I'm playing the Series X enhanced. That's why I downloaded it. I wanted the 60, it runs in 4K 60, so I had to check that out. It looks great. The quick resume though, I stopped it on purpose. I just paused the game, exited, entered Dead Cells, which I also checked out on Game Pass because I was just downloading anything that I felt like, anything that I'd never played. I'm downloading. I downloaded Yakuza 0, but I started playing some Dead Cells. I'm like, all right, gonna jump back into Gears, and it starts from the beginning. It does the whole Coalition, the studio that made the game. It takes it all the way back to the home screen. So I was like, okay, try it again. Still didn't work. So I've looked it up on Reddit. There is apparently some issues with that. Hopefully they patch that. So it's probably some launch day woes. But it was a little disappointing because that was the thing that I wanted to. You get these things and it's just like why I'm playing Astro's Playroom.
Yeah. Let me pop that up. Astro's, yeah, because that's the one you've been really enjoying.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's such a great. It's a tech demo, but it's a tech demo for the DualSense. It shows you how the adaptive triggers work, which are I can't wait for y'all who have not done this yet, including you, Patrick. I don't know if you got to it yet.
I haven't.
Set it all up.
I unboxed it. I set it up, and that's all I've done. So tomorrow will be the experience, and this is actually one I'm going to wait and experience with the wife because I figured that she's just going to gravitate towards it.
It's so cute.
Yeah. It looks adorable. I'm not, of course, worried by spoilers because you said it's a tech demo. It's all about showing what the PS5 can do, showing what that haptic feedback can do. The DualSense controller. I keep wanting to call it the PS5 controller, but it's supposed to.
I keep wanting to call it the DualShock 5.
DualShock 5, yeah.
There was one funny moment, and I already warned Patrick about this. So there is a microphone on the controller. It's right between the middle of the sticks. So when you There is a classic thing that they stole that from, what was it, the DS that did that first?
Yeah, it was the DS, and was it Spirit Tracks?
Well, Spirit Tracks did it. There was some other game.
Hold on, the Famicom technically is the first to do it. The Famicom, the original Zelda, but then that went away. Then it was back on the on the DS. Yeah,
throwback.
Yeah. I know, right?
So
the keys, you could do that in the grid. Yeah,
there's a thing. It's clearly on the screen, has you holding the controller in front of your face, and it goes. I did that, I kid you not, for 5 minutes, and then my wife comes into the room. I'm like lightheaded, blowing on this thing because it just wasn't working, and I was like, crap, I got a broken controller. So she tries it a few times, and then all of a sudden I see the thing that you're supposed to be blowing on move, and I'm like, what is going on? I take my headset off and blow into the microphone of the headset. Works immediately. So
that's the DualSense headset, the one that I'm
correct.
Sorry, not DualSense, 3D Pulse headset. See, all the branding is a little mismatched on PlayStation and Xbox for different reasons, but
it's called the 3D Pulse, right?
3D Pulse.
So they're oh wait, no, so they didn't go dual pulse, they went dual sense. So yeah, it'd be cool if they kept the same like name across the board.
Yeah, but so I'll be trying it out, and I'll keep that in mind when it comes to this. How's the microphone? Have you tried the microphone on these? Because I like the sound.
I mean, you can go check out the stream that I did on Twitch. I did some test demos. Hopefully, we'll be getting more of our own personal videos for our stock footage here for when we're showing off and talking about games. This is actually me playing Gears 5 for once. I think that's one of the first times we've been able to say that on the show, is that he's using my gameplay.
Yeah. Usually I get mine every now and then, but yeah, we're working out a system so we can have some fresh gameplay for you. For some reason, this one came out really, really dark. I don't know if I'm assuming you did like the calibration.
Yeah, but even if I hadn't, it shouldn't be outputting like that.
Yeah. I'm not really sure, unless it's something within the game. I don't know why, because that's your Xbox there, and then switching over to Astro is fine. So no, it's not. It couldn't be your TV, obviously.
Yeah.
TV is just But I for some reason it was really dark. But we'll get there. We'll moving forward, we'll have a better system where we can show you better gameplay. Also, you mentioned this in one of our messages we sent to each other. So we send obviously communication, text messages, video messages, whatever. You mentioned how this is the first time I think you've tried to stream on an Xbox.
Correct.
I've been streaming on an Xbox One X. So you got to experience the clumsiness of trying to stream in a Microsoft environment. You'd think that they'd have this thing down by now.
I just think that they would make it easy for everything else that they do easy. It just makes me wonder, was Mixer simple? Did you ever stream to Mixer?
Mixer is the same. So with Mixer, you had to still go through their app. So on PlayStation, I haven't done it on PS5 yet, but on PS4 and I think PS5, it's you hit the share button, you can it'll bring up. I can't remember.
So
you hit it or you tap it.
In this one, you're actually on PS5. You're using the PlayStation button, and you're bringing up a quick menu. And in that quick menu, there's a broadcast icon. You hit broadcast. I was streaming in less than a minute, whereas with the Xbox, I had to go download Twitch. You don't have to download Twitch on PS5. It goes right in. You do have to log in through your login, but
sure. Once you're logged in, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's going to be fine from now on. But once I logged in, you just press the button. Whereas the Xbox, you had to go to the app, say you want to broadcast. It was just a really weird experience.
And you can pin it, but still, it's not as easy. So
yeah.
I agree, and I know that Microsoft, for everything else that they've been doing, I'm going to fast forward because we already played this part. For everything else they've been doing, it's been so easy, so consumer friendly, that it's surprising they haven't figured this part out yet. The menu, by the way, on the Xbox is the same as the new update on Xbox One X recently and Xbox One, so that's not that shocking. But we did hear. So I guess we'll go right into news here. I got to play a little bit of Valhalla, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I'm playing on an Xbox One X because I'm waiting for my Xbox Series X.
Sure.
Shout out to Robert. He's going to hook me up. Mine is delayed until either the end of November or early December. I'm getting mixed messages on that, even though I pre-ordered. So Robert's got the hookup. He's got a spare. Money exchanged. We're so hopefully I'll have it. He'll have it tomorrow, and I'll have it probably next week. But the good thing about Xbox, at least, is that this will transfer over to the Series X. So where we are in Valhalla, we'll transfer over, and then we can experience the 4K 60 Valhalla, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I haven't even looked up what it is on Xbox One X. Obviously not 4K 60, but yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm even more excited about that PS5 Remote play, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like I feel like nobody was asking for this, and they just made it a thing anyway. So remote play already exists. I've already used it several times with the PS4. I've remote played to a Vita. I've remote played to my phone. I played a lot of Horizon Zero Dawn on my phone through remote play.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, with just a controller mount for my phone. It was just a thing where I just wanted to do more than one thing at once, so I just threw that on there. But now you can stream your PS5 to your PS4. The funny part about this to me is that you can't use the DualShock 4 on PlayStation 5 games, but you have to use the DualShock 4 on the PS4, and you're going through remote play to play your PS5 games on a PS4. You're using a PS4 for PS5 games.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It doesn't make sense. I'm sure that there's a reasoning, there's an architectural reasoning behind it, other than the feeling that you and I have, which is they just want you to play with that DualSense. They want people to adapt. They want people to adopt. Sorry, not adapt and adopt, but more adopt, and get developers to use that. At the same time, I mean, you get one with the console, so it's not like they're having to convince you to buy at least the first one. But that is irritating. I'm happy about it though, because I'll be able to play in here using the PS4 to this monitor, be able to play some PS5 off in the other room. If the wife is using the TV, she's playing some Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I want to play some Demon Souls, I can pop in here and play that. So.
Yeah, it'll be cool because you can also, I wouldn't necessarily stream it because you would be using your connection to take it from the PS5 and stream at the same time, but it actually does allow you to record too if you want, which I think is the cool part, is that, say she's watching something and I feel like recording some gameplay. I have my capture card in here hooked up to the stuff. Me and Patrick have been working together getting these things hooked up so that we can do more of that. Mm-hmm. That's what excited me about it. And for people who don't stream, there's still that opportunity. Like, you want to put your PS4 in your office or your bedroom or something, and again, you just want to play a little bit at night. Maybe you don't want to play anything serious. You just want to hop in and, like you said, play some Demon Souls. And I think that that's a really convenient feature to have.
I think it's convenient. I mean, we talk about backwards compatibility, and backwards compatibility is at this point, I feel like it should be a given. Yeah. Thankfully, PlayStation has it for PlayStation 4. I really hope, and there are rumors, I didn't put anything on here. Excuse me, there are rumors after seeing some stuff on the PlayStation Store. Some people were assuming that there may be a chance that via PlayStation Now, and hopefully it's not with a subscription, but essentially putting in a PS3 disc would verify that it is the disc of the game, and it would download the PS Now version of a PS3 game that you could only play if you have the disc in, which is exactly what the Xbox does, except for the PS Now aspect. That's a rumor, not saying it's happening. That'd be amazing, though.
That would fix a problem that they have, because for people who haven't used PS Now, one of the biggest problems is that you have to stream it, and streaming game.
I thought you were able to download a good amount now.
You're able to download PS4 games.
Oh, shit. Okay, so that's dumb.
Yeah, and so you can download any PS4 game on PS Now and play that locally, but if you want to play anything older than that, you have to stream it. And so if the disc thing is essentially, probably, in my opinion, unless they're making you pay for PS Now to also...
That would suck.
do that, that'll be the interesting thing, is if they make you both own a PS3 disc and pay for PS Now. I don't know how much I like that, but
yeah, you already own the game. I mean, technically, they're like, hey, you have a subscription to play any of these games, but at the same time, if you have a PS Now subscription, then you should be able to play the game anyways. So
yeah,
I think the disc would be if they would do it, the disc would be enough to opt in to allow for the download and authorization of the software only when a disc is present without need of PS Now. So I mean, like I said, it's possible. It's just a question: is Sony going to put their money and their time into doing something like this? I say no. But the fact that in a sense, and almost a forwards compatibility on our PS4.
Yeah.
The fact that having a PS4 and a PS5, being able to play PS5 games, again, you're streaming off the PS5, so you can't have someone in there playing a PS5 game while you're playing off the PS5. It doesn't work that way, but it would be. But we're not there yet. Maybe one day with quantum computing and everything. But I'm thinking
a dual CPU console.
Dual CPU console. And maybe I really hope, and I've not seen anything to this effect with this console, but with the 7th gen consoles, there was still split screen co-ops, and the 8th gen went away from that in favor of online co-op. And part of that was developers literally said, well, multiplayer is a big thing. Also, to do the graphics, to get the graphics and to run smooth enough to do games like, say, Borderlands 3, split screen's difficult, or essentially the better graphics, it's harder on the CPU. I'm like, okay, but these consoles are considerably more powerful in the CPU department. Can we get some more co-op, split screen co-op? And I know we have that with like the Lego games, but there's a lot of games that don't have it, and you could do online co-op but not split screen co-op. So people who have spouses or roommates or what have you, don't get to play those unless you get 2 rigs, like you were saying.
Yeah.
Get 2 rigs.
I was gonna say, I've seen somebody. There's an influencer that I follow where her and her husband have a dual TV, dual console set up in their living room. So my
friend Cindy does. Shout out to Cindy. So they both play like Borderlands on their own rigs with 2 PCs in the living room. Yeah, and they're married and they got kids. So like living the dream.
Yeah, man. Whenever I get a bigger living room, now my wife still probably wouldn't be down, but it's something that we could float. You never know.
Sure. Well, you guys trade off. Whitney and I do that too. Trade off on who's playing a game, and this also allows for that flexibility. Like I said, like if she's playing a Dragon Age or Mass Effect. That's the other thing I didn't put in here. Mass Effect was announced. So if you saw that,
yeah,
it's the remaster of Mass Effect. I should have put a video on for this. But they basically have taken all of them and remake/remaster. It's kind of like a Demon's Souls situation where they're like, okay, we're doing a remaster of some bits, but some parts we are doing kind of from the ground up to make it more palpable for a 9th gen experience. When you play Mass Effect 1, the gameplay didn't age well. The story's great, but the gameplay didn't age well. So they're trying to bring it up and make it a little more.
It's awful. Yeah. Not awful.
I love the game, but yeah, Mass Effect 2 is where I started. And it was great, and I plowed my way through Mass Effect 1 only because of the story. So that coming out, the wife playing that maybe, and you want to play some Miles, and you can go into the office and play some Miles. So not that we say go away from your spouse for extended periods of time, but it allows for that flexibility. So it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like it. We got more bad news on the PS5 front. We talked last week about the NVMe slot being deactivated.
Yeah.
On launch. Well, now we're also being told that you cannot transfer PS5 games to a USB drive. And I've seen a couple people, and even the headline of the article that we read saying, there's a fix, which isn't really what Sony said about it. I don't know. It seems it seems odd to not have a lot of these features at launch. They want you to play PS5 games on your NVMe. They want you to play it on your solid state drive, and don't want you to transfer it. And I wonder why they don't want you to transfer it to a USB drive, even from a convenience standpoint, to transfer it over and have it ready to free up some hard drive space.
Yeah, that's the only part of it that doesn't make sense to me. It makes the way that they explained it during the Mark Cerny talk, like it. I don't understand it, but they talked about why you can't play a game on a different hard drive than the one that's in the PS5. That made sense to me, but I don't understand why you can't move the game. And I want to move it back and forth. There's games that I'm not going to want to delete for a while. I'm pretty good about deleting ones. It's just whenever you download your Call of Duty that's like 100 and something gigabytes, you download these games that are in the 60s and 70s. It's just I would like to be able to move them on to a drive through USB-A to USB-C 3.1 connection, have it take 5-10 minutes and not have to worry about downloading it again. That's the only thing I just don't understand. And so there has to be something that we don't get about how the files integrate themselves into the hard drive, but I still don't get it.
Yeah, it has to be. By the way, I took off the plates. Have you taken off your face plates? Because I did that. I did an unboxing earlier today and took off the face plates, which I realized he makes it look so easy.
It's like he's done it a couple times.
Right. And part of it's a confidence thing. Part of it's realizing that it slides at an angle. It's not like a pull out.
Yeah.
It's more of an angle bit. But I did it because I wanted to check out the ports, wanted to purposely see like how easy is it to go this far, which does not void your warranty, by the way. Everything you're seeing here does not void your warranty. That's where your expandable NVMe storage will go, which I may get myself for my birthday. We'll see what happens on that.
They have to allow the slot to work first.
The slot, yeah, exactly. I hope by April. All right, so that gives them 6 months.
All right.
I hope so.
You're on the clock, Sony.
I know. So peeling that sticker, I believe that's where you void the warranty. I have not gone this far yet. I am not sure if I'm going to.
Do it in a year.
I may do it in a year,
or whenever your extended package is over.
So I did the extended warranty on so mine came from Walmart. So I did the extended on that. And I did that specifically because it's new hardware. And with certain stories coming out now, I feel even better about doing that, as a few people are having issues with the PS5. We'll go to the PS5 Xbox issues later. People are having issues with the PS5. Apparently it's a file restructuring error. I'll have to pull that up. That allegedly has bricked at least one console. I don't know how accurate it is, or if something else was going on during that. It's a storage rebuilding issues. It's a storage rebuild glitch. Happened to streamer ACG. So I'm going to give you a real quick rundown just to give you a warning. The scenario that this has happened on, and I don't know if you've done this with yours at all, it is if you're playing Miles Morales, which we don't know if it's specifically this, but it seems like Miles Morales, you put the console into sleep while Miles is there, while Miles is playing, and there is a chance that you'll get a storage error, which will cause it to have to rebuild the file system on the hard drive. ACG had this happen, and it kept trying to rebuild, and then bricked. So I don't know if I don't know how rampant this is, because I've only heard it from a couple people.
Yeah.
But I think it's enough for me to caution right now. There's also possibly a connection if you have Google Wi-Fi, and you have and you're doing Miles Morales, Google Wi-Fi, put it into sleep while you're playing the game or suspended the game. I have Google Wi-Fi, so I'm going to be a little careful right now because I happen to hit that Venn diagram perfectly. Not saying chance it, but have you suspended or put your console into sleep? Yeah, while you're playing the game?
Yeah, I always put it in sleep. So, yeah, we talked about it, and then literally, I literally did it right before I was playing some Astro's Playroom, not 10 minutes before I joined this Google Hangout. It's in sleep right now with Astro's Playroom.
Also,
but what I do have a habit of doing is I go to the home screen first.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the home screen, then I put it in sleep. I don't know. It's just a weird little quirk. I've always thought, I'm like, it'll just make everything go smoother if we load it into the home screen instead of the game whenever it boots up, because you never know with the PS4. It worked. I've gone back once and it went right back into Astro's. Now, I did have Astro crash on me once. Sent the error report on that. Send your error reports in right now, folks. It helps a ton.
Yep. And set up your PlayStation, set up any of your consoles to send those error reports. Send them when it prompts, when it says, "Hey, are you okay with sending information?" They're not going to take your.
It's not private stuff.
Information. It's no private stuff. It's literally okay. I don't know how much you do of this. Every now and then I've had to dive into like bug reports and stuff.
Sure.
None of it's proprietary. I mean, none of it is personal. None of it is at all tied to your credit card. It's all bug reports saying like that specifically tell them the state the console was in, the state that your hardware was in, and the games you're playing, all that kind of stuff, which lets them figure out these bugs quicker.
I don't actually read them. I know what's in them in terms of like. You're talking about it is information about the computer. So the PS5, the Series X, these things are also computers. They're computers with one primary function as opposed to like what you may use at work or on your personal laptop and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a computer. It's information about that system, about your precise system, and that's as personal as it gets. Is that you have a special. Everybody uses their console differently, even if it's in like one way or another. Your stuff, it can be unique to you. So by sending those in, it just allows for software fixes to come faster. Just like anytime Xbox is doing it, if I could get something to come up about the quick resume, the only thing is you can't turn it off, or you can't turn it. There's no turn it off and turn it back on again with quick resume. It's just something that's always technically supposed to be running in the background, so I can't send an error report on it, which stinks.
So it's automatically supposed to suspend if like you're playing Gears and you pop over to Gears Tactics or Gears 5, Gears Tactics, whatever, you should be able to pop back, and it's not suspending on the Xbox, which
correct.
That's sad because that's one of the things that like Microsoft has been touting hardcore. Like this is going to be, and I've literally heard people that were not paid to say this. At least I think they're not paid to say it.
Yeah.
But I've heard people like reviewers who are like, this changes the game. No pun intended, but they're like, I don't want to play my other Xbox. I don't want to play my PS4. They didn't have a PS5.
Yeah.
But they were basically saying like, this changes how you play games because you can have 2 or 3 people playing different games in your household, and you don't have to wait 2.5 minutes for a game to load. I think the suspend, you're supposed to wait, I think it's like, I don't know, it's a few seconds, but it's not near as bad. It's not as good as PlayStation when you're just suspending one game, but I really hope PlayStation comes up with something like that. I hope Microsoft fixes it, and I hope PlayStation comes out with something like that. Yeah,
and I think the problem with Gears 5, and I don't know anything about what I'm talking about, but in my the thing that it seemed to be because it has network connectivity, and so I can see that could cause a problem with a game that's connected online, whereas previously when maybe like reviewers and stuff, they were checking it out. I don't know if those devices were connected to the network, like in terms of like if you were playing Gears 5, were you playing on the network? And so I can see that causing a problem. I expect it to work. It's just the only reason it stunk is that it didn't work on day one, but I know it's going to.
Yeah, that's a great point there, because that is a big difference. I've heard quite a few people who, again, reviewers and influencers and people who got them early say they were excited to actually be connected to the network, to be playing. They were excited to be connected to the network to be able to see what people are doing, because some of them have been playing for like a week or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Without being connected to any social aspect of gaming. And then what's his name? Greg Miller was like talking about his like not getting trophies, or wanted to see who's like, I don't know if you heard him talking about that. I've been listening to a lot of that, where he's like, am I the first to platinum Miles? Did someone else platinum? Like, I want to know. Which I didn't even think about. I'm not a big trophy hunter, but to be able to compare your stats, if you will, and be like, okay, did did, like, for example, if I'm like, oh, I ran into this cool thing, has Owen gotten that trophy yet?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be able to tell. I may get a little bit more into trophies during this generation. I don't know. I feel more social with the PS5 so far. I don't know what it is. Usually I try not to talk to anybody when I play games, though.
What's funny is he tweeted out a thing saying that like he showed his list where he's like, I'm the first person to have a platinum for both Astro's Playroom and Spider-Man, maybe, or something like that. I forget what the exact, but it's pretty funny. Trophies. I get there's definitely an allure to them, and I'm even technically about to beat Astros, but I'm going back and collecting all the collectibles, but also because it's so cute.
I imagine that's also an easy one to platinum.
Yeah.
So I may platinum that one just because I think it's probably easy. But not that I need to platinum them, but sometimes it's nice to see, like, and that's one reason I'm really looking forward to this on PlayStation 5's UI, to look up here and see, like, you're in this area, how close are you to getting this trophy? How close are you to getting this other one? Because Xbox will show you that you can sort and be like, what are my achievements? Like, which one's my closest to? But it's more of an aggregate, like, oh, well, you gotten 20 of these, you need 50 of them. As opposed to, like, you're in this area. It's not as dynamic. So
yeah. I will say, if you're looking to get into trophies, another really cool thing, they advertised it a little bit, I think on one of the last stated plays where they showed off the UI. So you can get trophy tips, right? So there is a thing that pops up. I'm playing Astros. There's like 4 puzzle pieces and a couple of artifacts to find. That's the whole collecting thing of the game, is puzzle pieces and artifacts. And it shows you how many you're missing. You can press your guide button and pull up, and it'll show you your trophy percentage, and it'll show a little video showing you where the collectible, the general area of where the collectible is.
That's cool.
And sometimes it's right where it's not like they're showing you what it can be, so they're even making those trophies even easier. But if more people take advantage of that, I'm excited, because I like collectibles and everything, and I do a thing where I go through a playthrough and I play completely blind. I don't look up anything, because I'm just going to experience it. What I find. But if it's a game that I want to collect those trophies to, get that platinum, because I think of a platinum as like, hey, I really liked your game. Here's me getting your platinum trophy. Yeah,
no, and there are certain ones that I definitely would want to platinum. There's certain ones that I want to platinum because I like, I don't know, Miles, maybe. There's probably a lot of collectibles on that. I probably, because it'll be ridiculous, and I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but I'm probably going to try to platinum Demon Souls. That's crazy.
That trophy list sucks.
It does.
I looked at it.
Okay, so I didn't do all the trophies in PS3. I can't even remember if there were trophies. I did literally do a checklist of Demon Souls in my playthrough of Demon Souls, which is all on the channel, by the way. I literally did a checklist of every single thing you could do in the game, but I didn't platinum it. I can't remember if were they platinum trophies on PS3. I don't even know.
Yeah, there should have been. I think PS3 is where they introduced trophies. That's right. I just don't pay attention to much, but yeah, I'm sure it's ridiculous. I may look at it. I love this game. It's crazy hard, but I absolutely love it. So I got that, and I got Miles over here. Did you get Miles Ultimate Edition?
I did because I had to. I was like, I need to get the. I don't need, but I really wanted that upgraded PS4 Spider-Man.
If you want to go to platinum, PS4 Spider-Man is it's fun. It does like collectibles and stuff, but it's nothing difficult. It just literally is swinging around, and who doesn't like swinging around as Spider-Man? So I'm hoping that Miles' trophy list is similar to get through that. I installed that today. Yeah. Gonna dive in after the kid goes to school tomorrow. I've heard that they've done some stuff with the DualSense in Miles Morales, so that made me like with the web slinging with the triggers. So
That'll be cool.
I'm super pumped.
Oh, like to feel the tension.
Yeah.
Really, I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't done.
Oh, man,
just wait, dude. The controller's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna send me
wait.
a message, and I'm just gonna know it that it's coming.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, this controller.
Yeah, I'm basically waking up. I take care of the dogs in the morning. So I wake up, take care of the dogs. You know, get them all ready for school. You know, get their food. I make sure that they go to the bathroom. Kirby will wake up. Kirby wakes up pretty early, and he has to go to the bathroom. And I have to like literally jump out of bed. He's my 4-month-old, by the way, 4-month-old boxer. I have to like jump out of bed to make sure he doesn't lose his patience and just decide to pee on the floor. Because he knows he's supposed to go outside, but the maturity isn't there yet.
Sure.
So I have to like kind of jump out of bed, open the bedroom door, run over to the back door, and let him out to make sure he, you know, because otherwise he may decide to go. And I'm one of those people. If I'm up like that, I can't go back to sleep. I don't know if you're like that. Like once I'm up, I'm basically up.
Well, I didn't used to be like that, but then I had a baby, and so in that case, once I'm up, I'm generally up, unless it's like 4 a.m. Like you do get really used to that 2 to 4 a.m. cry where that comes out, and you're like, but then you can go back to sleep. But once you hit about 6 o'clock these days, it's over.
Yeah. I was gonna say you got me beat on that, but it was different in the middle of the night. Where I'd like take him out, have him go to the bathroom, bring him back. But now it's like he sleeps throughout the night, and then he's ready to go. So I'm sure. I mean, like I said, I know I'm nowhere near what you're going through, but or what you've been through and everything.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. It's okay.
No. But like I get up, I do all that stuff. Whitney's not a morning person, so like I'm like I'll do it. I don't mind. I don't like getting up early, but I can. So
it's just going to be more time to play video games.
That's exactly right. So I'm going to get the dogs ready because I'm off work. So I'm going to get the dogs, get their food. They go to the bathroom, wear them out a little bit. Whitney goes to work and video games, 8 a.m. That's my plan. So I'll probably jump into Miles. I'll probably I've got Bug Snacks downloaded, by the way, and I think that's all I downloaded so far. But I'm going to put in the disc for Demon's Souls probably tonight. Put in the disc for Miles probably tonight, where while I'm doing stuff, I'll just pop the disc in. And I'll do some things while it installs. How's the install down?
That's another thing. It's sick. It's so, like, I downloaded, what's the biggest game that I downloaded?
I'm going to be testing this, by the way, for our show. We are going to be I'm going to do a bunch of focused videos. So stay tuned for those focused videos on tests like storage and install times, which you did download. But did you install anything from a disk yet?
I did the Miles Morales. It's fast. Okay. It had to download, the patch, but it was ready to play in about 10 minutes with it. It was ready to do that thing where it's still downloading in the background but allow you to start the game. That took 10 minutes, and then total download time I think was 20 or so. Going into the PS Store, it's snappier, so they've done something to fix some of their issues. I'm super impressed with both systems so far in terms of how fast they're set up, they're ready to go, how fast the games are starting. It's been really nice, but you have to watch out though if your console starts smoking. But that hasn't actually happened yet.
Apparently, that's a thing that's faked. I love that Microsoft tweeted about this. By the way, if you're watching, these are videos of alleged smoke. This is the first one that came out, by the way.
Yeah.
Alleged smoke coming out of the console. By the way, my cable management sucks, but this dude's cable management right here, not here. Hold up. It's like in 5 seconds from here. This cable management I got nothing on that. So Microsoft mentioned, because this was easily debunked, and then Microsoft tweeted out, "I can't believe we have to say this, but please do not put vapes in your console or vape through your console." I don't know if they were using a vape cartridge into the intake or how they did it. I really don't know, but that's basically what people were doing with these. Was that it's a vape through the console. and some other people tested it to try it out, which I would not recommend. Some people did that, and they were saying like that it would smoke up, and then it would just it would do that for like a minute or a minute and a half, and that's just insane.
The thing about vapes, like that's liquid smoke. You're blowing liquid all over your machine.
Well, this is the reason why we're in this issue with the pandemic, is because that's water, moisture that's coming in the vape. That's not just smoke, it's moisture, it's water, it's liquid, not water, it's liquid. So yeah, don't do what I did, spilling water everywhere on your electronics. That's basically what you're doing in a small sense. It's going to degrade the console. I mean, come on.
Random segues, and anybody who's listening to this week's podcast, it's a little bit just pure excitement. And
we're just excited.
We're a little bit all over the place. But speaking of like the blowing thing, where I'm blowing on the controller for like that 5 minutes, she comes in and she's like, "This is not the right message during a pandemic." I'm just blowing all over the controller.
No, just hand your controller. It'd be really funny if it was like, hand your controller to your friend and have them. No.
Yeah. And
that's good.
So just the fact of that liquid smoke, it pushed me that direction. I'm having a hard time concentrating just because of how excited I am today. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday, just unplugging, like getting to put it in there, like having that little like moment where I removed my PS4 Pro from its place of honor in the living room. And it's now going there. You know, I didn't. Again, there was not like supreme emotions, but I took a second. I was like, man, next gen. It's so crazy, especially this year, just how much video games have done. You think about Animal Crossing, you think about Final Fantasy VII, you think about Bugsnax before people played it, Ghosts of Tsushima in the multiplayer, and that what's the Fall Guys, just all these different experiences that video games have done this year. Like, it really hit me plugging in that PS5 and getting that set up, and I was like, man, I have two new gen consoles just sitting here. Like, it's been a good decade, but or 7 years or so.
7 years,
it's been a good 7 years, but I'm ready, man.
I'm ready too. I mean, so you have the PS4 Pro. It's the one you have, and that's the one I got right back here. And I have the Xbox One X. So we both, or I got the intermediary console, or an intermediary. You
get the best Xbox One.
Yeah, I got the 8.5 gen. Yeah, I got the best Xbox, the best PlayStation experience. But still, putting the PlayStation 5 in its new place on the entertainment center, it was a really special feeling. The last time unplugging the PS4, even knowing it's going here, and I've been, viewers of the show will know I've been bringing it into the office to do streaming, but knowing that was kind of like, that's the last time it's going to be in that entertainment center. It's the last time it's going to be in that room, maybe. It felt like ceremonial. It felt like a changing of the guard was happening, because I was changing them out like at the same time. And the PS5 is just like a monstrosity. It's huge. I love it, but it is so big. I'm worried about some people like not being able to fit it into their entertainment centers.
So I shared my picture because I bought a new entertainment center, not just for my PS5. Like, there was a thing of, I wanted a bigger one to more fit. I have a 55 TV, and it's just a thing about furniture that you realize as maybe you get older and stuff, like the way that it fits actually affects your viewing of the room. And so it always kind of made that side of the room look small because the TV wasn't on a properly placed piece of furniture. So I wanted that aspect. But then that even added to, I put the PS5 in it, and you saw my picture. It doesn't look like a monstrosity.
It doesn't,
because it fits in that shelf. But you stick it next to anything else.
So I'm gonna send a picture. I'm gonna send a picture of what my entertainment center looks like right now, because we both got new entertainment centers. We live these parallel lives in some way. Some reasons because sometimes because one of us will say, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this," and then it kind of puts the idea in our brains.
We have a weird influence on each other.
We do. So Whitney wanted a new entertainment center. You wanted a new entertainment center. It all kind of happened around the same time. But Whitney wanted a smaller entertainment center because she wanted the room to feel large. The one that we had was huge, and she felt it made the room feel small. So we got a smaller entertainment center, knowing the consoles would have to go on top, because these things are too big to fit like inside the way we wanted, which is fine. That's fine. But I don't know if you were doing this when shopping for entertainment centers, and this is going to be the most adult part of the conversation, part of the podcast. Did you like look at measurements like when online, where it's like, here's the measurement of the cabinet, of this cabinet space? Yeah, so that's what we were doing. And there were a bunch that Whitney was like, "Oh, I really like this." I'm like, "Nope," because it wouldn't fit my receiver. I got my audio receiver, and I'm like, "Nope." She's like, "Seriously, there can't be that many people who have like." We're whittling down so many, and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Are there really people who don't have like, what do they have? Just like a basket of like mints or something, like that they put in their entertainment center?" Because some of them, I'm like, none of this will fit.
It's decorative.
It's decorative. Well, and then I wasn't even measuring for the new console. So the whole time I'm telling her, like, this doesn't even account for the PS5. I don't know how people are going to put the PS5 in some of these little tiny, like, barn door, decorative entertainment centers, which are great to put your baskets in and stuff, which Whitney's going to do. But yeah, Robert's in the comments saying, yeah, he measured.
I haven't been able to get a word out just because I've been laughing so hard. Robert says that's the reason that he went looking for an entertainment center. So three people get an entertainment center all at the same time, because literally Patrick talked about it first. Then I did that second. I got out the measuring tape. I measured the section on my wall. And then I went to the wife. I went on Overstock, and I was like, "What do you think of this one?" And she's like, "Does it fit?" And I was like, "Got it." And she's like, "Get the brown." Switched colors. And ordered. You got to.
That's an easier. So Whitney and I have different minds. So like it's hilarious. Robert's doing the same thing, because he says mine was gonna have to go on the floor. Like that's. I mean, it's in preparation for these
It's a
things.
big boy.
It's giant. So Whitney and I have we have kind of opposite minds on these kind of things. I am all about like the utilitarian, like how does this function? Like, it's not that it doesn't have to look good. I just really don't care as much about how it looks as will it do the thing I need it to do. So there are sacrifices on my side and sacrifices on her side, depending on what we want. Usually it's sacrifices on her side because the electronics need to work, because she plays games. So she understands that. So she's like, basically it's like she picks out the style. As long as it fits, she can pick whatever she wants, as long as the electronics fit in there. That's all I care about. So we got the style that she wants, and the electronics fit. It's all we care about.
Now, I want you single folks to take notice of a word. It's called sacrifices. Just lock it away. It's going to come up.
Yep.
At some point.
You win some, you lose some, and sometimes you got to take the L, and you're just like, it's okay.
The thing that I found out is like I just have to match it to the furniture that she has already kind of picked out. I had some say in my furniture. I wanted recliners. She got stylish recliners, all that stuff. Like as long as you match the thing. So that was the key. I was like, I looked at the coffee table and I was like, okay, it has to fit this aesthetic. I found the entertainment center, and so it made that sell a whole lot easier. I just had to do the work. I was the one that wanted an entertainment center, and so that meant she's like, okay, just pick one and we'll see. And that's how that went. So it did take a long time on my part. I was probably looking for a solid 3 or 4 days.
And I was gonna say she was looking a lot, and it was kind of the opposite here, where she was looking and I'd look at it and go, all right, let me see the dimensions. And sometimes the dimensions weren't showing the inside. She was like, oh, it's this deep, and I'm like, nope, It's that deep as a whole, and that's counting like the outer pieces of it. So like I'm like no, I'm not the feet, if you will, like the stand. But yeah, it's been a journey. I'm happy. I'm happy about it. It's been a journey of the next gen having to accommodate the entertainment centers. By the way, Major Nelson and a bunch of others were saying with these next gen consoles, and I'm sure PlayStation's like this as well. He was saying use the HDMI cable that they give you with the Xbox because it's super speed HDMI cable. Normally, I'm like, I don't really care. He didn't say, and I really wish he had said in there to basically be like, don't chance it that the cable that you have plugged, that you have ready, may not be what it needs. Like use the one. Usually I'm like, I don't care about the stock one. I've got something good. But I can see a lot of people who maybe they got the regular PS4, they got just a random HDMI cable that they got at Walmart. They plug in the that Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5. You're not going to get 4K 120 because it can't get through that HDMI cable. It's not. The bandwidth's not fast enough. So I don't know if you used your previous HDMI cable or if you rerouted a cable.
Well, both systems come with cables, so
yeah. Did you use the one out of the box?
With the Series X, I did. With the PS4, okay. I had already done that research before because just like how
you're good.
I ordered today, I found out. We're telling console launch stories. I found out that my TV only has one port on it that will do high dynamic range.
Man.
And so I'm like, I'm not going to switch the HDMI cable. but again, that adult conversation. So Patrick lied. That's not the only adult thing that we had to say. So I go shopping at like 11 o'clock at night because I figure this out and I'm like, I need a switcher. There's no, I'm not going to plug one into it. And so she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting a switcher. And she's like, why? Because I need HDR on both consoles. And she's like, can't you just do one regular 4K?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, you can't. I will say with the setup that I have in here, right? The setup I have in here does not have HDR yet. It's not 4K, but it's going to have HDR at some point. Right now, the chain of that I have, my Switch is good with it. My capture card's not. That'll be upgraded. This situation has compromises. That situation out in the living room, no. I got surround sound. I have a 4K TV. It is 120 hertz, so I'm happy, and real 120 because there's some TVs that say like 120.
Mine's a 60
something.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But like I've seen a bunch on there. People were like, "Oh, I've got 120," and then they like actually read. They're like, "Oh no, that's with auto motion interpolation." So like it's the TV faking frames. It's that smoothing crap that you have to turn off.
Yeah.
So it's not actually 120. So if you really want it, you got to get TV that can do that. I didn't even think about it until you mentioned that yesterday. That you don't have two ports that do HDR.
They all do 4K. It's just and which is obvious, but one HDR10 / Dolby port.
Yeah, mine. I had to enable the port, which is dumb. I talked about that like earlier on in earlier this year. I was playing my PS4 Pro, not realizing I could have been doing some HDR. I thought it was HDR. Your TV pops up and says HDR and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't. Even now that I have HDR enabled, it has HDR and it'll pop up saying you can calibrate if it's an HDR game, but my TV doesn't pop up saying this is an HDR game now or HDR vision.
I will say it hasn't been doing that on the new consoles because it's HDR by default, whereas in the PS4 Pro, when you're in the dashboard, that's not 4K if you weren't aware. So your dashboard is in 1080. So when it bumps to a game like you put in God of War and it loads the HDR, it pops HDR on the screen then. But with these two consoles, it was on by default, and so it has not popped up playing a game on there.
Actually, the Series X dashboard is not HDR. Yeah. Test that out for me. You should see a difference.
It is.
It is?
Yeah,
I thought it was
the Series X is. It has to recognize.
Oh, you know what? It's 1080. It's not it's HDR 1080, not 4K. That's what it is.
Something like that. But it didn't. Yeah. It was in HDR because that's how I figured it out. I had plugged it into my second port, and it actually has in the video options a thing that tells you exactly what your TV is capable of. So if you get a Series X, definitely go into settings and then the video options. It'll run it, and it says HDR is not available on this TV. And I'm like, no, sir. It absolutely is.
Well, I mean, there's two choices that you could make. Which one is get the HDMI switcher that you're talking about?
I already did.
Or you can, okay. I was gonna say, or you could be a plebeian and go over there and like unplug the cable from the TV every time, like.
Or as at least two people said, buy a new TV. And I was like,
buy a new TV.
And that's where you make sacrifices. You buy a new switcher. You buy a switcher.
I'm not at that point with my TV. My TV's great. I'm not at the point where I feel like I need to justify that at all.
No, I can't.
Your TV's great
it's
too.
Great.
I mean,
it's awesome. Minus that one port problem, because it does it natively through, like, if you're watching Netflix or anything else, it pops 4K immediately. There is no delay. So every streaming app that does it works. It was just, I've never had two consoles in there that ran HDR. So I just never knew it was a problem. I have a Switch that was the other console in there until now.
Yeah, I feel like this journey for you, like I've been doing the multiple consoles, not that you have not, but you definitely leaned more towards PlayStation, and Xbox won you over this generation.
Yeah,
I'm probably just like kind of cap the episode on this, but like Xbox won you over this generation in value. And if someone, someone was asking me about, a lot of people have asked me recently, like, well, which one's better? They're both coming out. Trevor, who's on our Breaking Cinematic Universes podcast, shout out to Trevor. We talk about movies. He was like, all right, quick, like, gun to your head, Xbox or PlayStation? What do you get? Or like, sorry, it wasn't gun to your head. It was like, what do I get? You got real quick. Tell me which one to get.
Yeah.
As we were like leaving the show, and I'm like, well. Like, I asked him about, he plays more on Xbox, so it's an easy win. But I told him, like, value-wise, Xbox has got it this generation right now.
Right now.
PlayStation 5, we'll see what happens. I've got them both. I can't wait to, sorry, I don't have them both yet. But I can't wait to play them both and experience these and see how they grow. Because every console generation grows. This is the start of a beautiful generation, of a beautiful friendship of the Xbox and PlayStation, of this generation. I'm so excited.
I'll say in the counter, even though if you've listened to this podcast, you know that I actually agree with Patrick in this thing, but I am going to offer the counter, the Sony counter, because you have to today, is that the one thing Series X doesn't have for somebody who plays as much as I do. So if you don't, if I'm not even saying plays as much as I just collects as many video games as I do. Right now, the Series X doesn't have the must-have game. It has, if your must-have though is like Valhalla and you want the value, that kind of stuff. That's where you're like, yeah, I'm getting the Series X. Yeah. But I was more excited getting Miles delivered to me than anything. I can't wait to play that tomorrow. Astro's Playroom, even though that's a tech game, it was a game that Sony specifically put time into making to show you how cool their controller was. They added that where Xbox has the value. PS5 definitely right now out of the gate has more killer apps.
Yes, killer apps, 100%. Raw power on the Xbox side, killer apps on the PlayStation side,
and value on the Xbox side.
And I was going to say, and value on the Xbox side. Also, if I look at the Xbox as if you already have an Xbox, if you have an Xbox One, it's like getting a brand new PC. You're playing your favorite games on the brand new PC. PlayStation, same thing, but also it's got some killer apps that go with it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting first couple months with them. I think we're going to do hopefully I'll have mine next week. We'll see what happens. Hopefully shipping and everything goes well with Robert getting it and getting it out to me. No rush, dude. I seriously no rush. Like, I know you'll get it when you'll get it there. But I think we'll probably do a recap, like a 1 month or maybe a 6 month in, like 1 month with the 9th gen consoles, 6 months with the 9th gen consoles to talk about how we've grown and how the consoles have grown. I'm going to be capturing a lot of video for videos we're going to be doing, talking about comparisons, and some of those I'm going to keep, specifically source videos I'm going to keep not to be released, so we can look back on, like when we look back like 5 years from now and go, man, you remember what that dashboard looked like on PlayStation 5? And boom, we'll have stuff. I mean, these things change a lot.
As we pre-order our PS6.
I don't think it's going to be that quick, but PS5 Plus or PS5 Pro or whatever they're going to call it, that may happen, and they'll probably get us on that. We'll probably order them both.
I'll say whichever one you manage to get your hands on first, you really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I have Call of Duty downloaded. I was totally dumb. I thought Call of Duty came out today. It comes out at 11 p.m. my time today, and so I won't be playing any Call of Duty today like I thought I would. But I got that on the Series X. I had to get the 4K, the up-res mode.
Cross-gen.
Yeah, the cross-gen package. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I had to get that, but I have that ready to go. You can't go. I'm not excited about Spider-Man because of how much I loved the first game, and Miles Morales is an awesome character, so I'm ready for that as well. But I'm probably going to get Valhalla on Series at some point. I feel like there's going to have like a slightly better on some things in terms of those third-party games running well. I expect that to happen on Series X, and so there's a chance on some of those games that I'll do that. And if you didn't know, EA Play is now a part of Game Pass, and so you can now add all those sports games, not this year's, but you can add last year's games like right now for free. So if you're getting the series and you want your Maddens and your and so on, FIFA, etc., those are out there for you with Game Pass.
And if you happen to grab that PlayStation 5 and you have PlayStation Plus, which you should have, don't forget to go in and grab that PlayStation Collection. I was wrong. I had previously thought, and I mentioned to a couple of people because I thought it was the case.
Same.
That if you have a PlayStation Plus membership, you get the collection, but you have to have a PlayStation 5 in order to get the collection. So if you do have a PlayStation 5, I'm hoping they do this for a while, because I'd hate for them to only do it for early adopters. But that's like 20 or 21 games, 21 really good games. So if you did happen to snag a PS5, or if you're about to get your PS5, log in. You have to do it on the console. Grab all those games. Grab Bug Snacks right now if you have your PS5, and enjoy that.
By the way, they don't pay us to say that. We're just telling you that for the sick part of, I literally added 5 games that I didn't own to my collection today.
We say it. They don't pay us. We literally say it because we want to watch out for you. We got your back. We're going to tell you like the tips and tricks. We're going to tell you what to make sure you're not missing out on something that's either crazy cheap or free or whatever. So that's kind of the whole point here. So stay tuned for more of that awesome stuff at the next episode, and more stuff talking about next gen when we talk about more next gen, and keep fanboying out. So we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Land Cave. If you're not subscribed already, please do so. Right down, I think it's around there. Please subscribe. Watch us on Facebook every Thursday live. We'd love to see people in the comments chatting with us. You guys are just as enthusiastic about gaming as we are. Be part of the culture. Be part of the conversation. And we'll see you next time.